Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. My name's Chandra and I make videos about reading, writing, and all things books. Today's video was supposed to be everything I knew about my NaNoWriMo project at the beginning of Preptober. And I guess it could still be that, but I think what I'm going to do is how it started, how it's going, because that'll be fun. Number 1. My original story idea was part of my new 7-book series, so I have 2 7-book series in mind. Why? I don't know. I don't. I got an idea and then I was like, more of this idea is a good thing, right? So that's what I thought I was going to do for NaNo. What am I actually doing? I'm doing my second standalone historical fiction that's going to be a companion novel for my Secret series, which is a trilogy. How it started, how it's going. 2. The premise of my original project was that each book would be a standalone historical fiction based on a specific outbreak in history. And I love this idea, and I have some really fantastic outbreaks picked out that I'm going to work on, but the amount of research that I need to do is extensive. And although I didn't realize it, one of the ways that I'm procrastinating on my current NaNo project is by watching The Spanish Princess, because it involves some of the things, some historical things that of course it's not accurate, but it involves some of the historical things that I want to include in my book. So research, I guess. So the premise of my current project is different characters. So each book has some of the same settings, and there will be some overlap of characters, but the books can be read in any order and they will all be standalone, or 3 of them will be standalone and then there'll be the trilogy. But they're all going to have some of the same characters, maybe even as minor characters, and in a lot of the same locations. And once more, it is also historical fiction. Number 3. The first book in that 7-book series was supposed to be Project ESB. That's not how that's going. My current project is Project BS, which chuckles. That happened. That's what I'm working on now. Number 4, the setting for the other book was going to be in 1485. My current project is set in 1880, so a little bit of a time gap there, but you can see that none of my research for my 1880 projects, which I'd already done a lot of research for 1880 because I had the first 2 books drafted of the Secret series, and then I drafted my other project, Twisted Jane, which is also set in 1880. And then I'm going to have to re-outline the Secret series. So it didn't make sense for me to have all of this research set in the same time period and then have to go back and research 1485 as well, when I'm like, my mind's not there. How it started, how it's going. Whatever. Number 5, how am I preparing? Okay, so this is actually really funny because this is from my notes that I made in October-ish, and I hadn't actually started watching The Spanish Princess when I made this list, but I had how I'm preparing as I'm watching The Spanish Princess and The Tudors. I haven't started on The Tudors, but I have started. I'm like probably halfway through season 1 of The Spanish Princess. It's research. So, but yeah, I'm gonna have to do a lot more research than that. And The Spanish Princess and The Tudors aren't exactly necessarily set in completely the right time period or location, so it's fine. I'll have to figure all that out, but it's still good research. And how I'm preparing for my current project, I did a ton of reading. I did a lot of location research. I haven't done any of the research as far as cultural, dietary, clothing, any of that stuff. I do have some awareness of it just from previous research, but I did do a lot of that research a while ago. So I'm gonna have to go back and recheck a lot of stuff just to make sure that it's on track. But on a whole, the prep was largely around location and setting and not related to the rest of like the historical bits and pieces. It was just finding maps, finding the specific location where I wanted certain things to happen. There's a specific club that I wanted to be in a specific location that sounds fake but is real. And I wanted it to be that way on purpose, so I had to do some research around that to make sure it was set in a place that I could pick out and be like, this is a real place. Was this building here? There's no way to know because there was a fire that destroyed the district at a certain point in time, so these are the things you learn when you're researching setting. Also, fires destroyed a lot of places, so if you want to put something somewhere that it wasn't, say it was before the fire, ain't nobody gonna know. And the maps before the fires are usually super unspecific just because the area was so recently established. I'm off on a tangent, historical fiction stuff. If you write it, you know. Number 6, where is my story set? So previously, for my original project, or what I thought I was going to be doing, my story was, these are my exact notes. I don't know, London? That didn't happen. My current project started, well, so part of it happens in Boston and part of it happens in New Orleans. The majority of the story takes place in New Orleans, but some of the memories and the history that it may come up in like flashbacks, I haven't exactly decided, but that takes place in Boston for the majority of those. I don't think there's going to be any other cities involved. The main character is originally from Boston. Why Boston? I picked a lot of populous locations for the time period where the city was big enough that even if like there's other interesting things happening, there's a pretty established middle class to wealthy class. So yeah, you can kind of make whatever you want happen without it being super overt. That's how it started versus how it's going. Basically, what I thought I knew about my NaNo project at the beginning of Preptober ended up being completely and entirely wrong. I'm not mad about it though. My current project is going really, really well. I'm enjoying it. I think it's some of my best writing, which I feel like I've said the past several times, but also this is my 4th book I'm drafting this year. So if I hadn't made some kind of progress as far as my writing ability, that would be not good. But yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know if you changed your NaNo project between Preptober and the beginning of NaNo. I would love to hear what you're working on, how it started, and how it's going. Thank you so much for watching my video, and I will see you next time.